Really? Really? Well, beautiful people, best damn nation. It is Valentine's Day, and you know what time it is. It's the season for love. This is the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. I am your humble host, Brian Renegade, and with me, I have a best damn crew. First of all, this episode is for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? We gotta represent today. We have a fitness influencer, model, fashion icon, fashionista, the one and only Queen of the Carolinas, Bree Anna Dion. What's happening, my sister?
Hey.
Oh man, it's good to have you. How's everything going?
Things are going good. I cannot complain. I'm happy to be here.
Well, thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being here. We're gonna ask you some questions because we got to get deep into it. But you're gonna be part of the best damn crew today. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm happy to be here. So this is the best place to be on a Wednesday.
I know, right? You know what I'm saying? Uh, Next, I have the chef of all chefs. Uh, we call him Senor Fuego. He's the one and only Chef Showtime. What's happening, Chef?
What's good? What's good? How you guys doing today?
Oh man, you know how we do it. Blessed and highly favored, as the old folks would say. You know what I'm saying? Feeling good today, Chef. First of all, I want to say this to you, my brother. Happy birthday. Boy, you got double duty today. Valentine's Day and birthday, huh? Whoever your partner is, boy, her present better be good. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
Yeah. Present better be good, Jack. You gotta celebrate birthday and Valentine's at the same time. Happy birthday to you, Chef.
Oh, what are you for my birthday though?
Oh man. Well, listen. Let's go ahead and get into this a little bit. We got our esteemed guest, Brianna Dion. I'm going to give her the light, man, because she has been doing her thing for a long time. I've been watching your progress, and I've been impressed. I've been taking notes, you know what I'm saying, of what to do and what not to do. Beautiful people, if you haven't checked out her social media page, I'm going to just show you just a little bit about Brianna Dion. This is one of her videos.
I'm back with an update, although I probably should have waited because I haven't been going hard in the gym like I should be, but my quads are now 23 when they were 22 and a half. My hips are now 40 and they were 38 and a half, and my waist is a 27 and a half. I guess I'm doing something.
I guess I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying? She got more abs than me and you combined. That's what I'm saying. Oh man, what's happening? Look, first of all, man, you went on this crazy water cleanse, right? And it seems crazy for most people because you did it for how long? About 3 days?
This last time I did it for, I think it was like 4 days, but I was planning to do it only for 72 hours, but I felt fine, so I just kept going.
What made you do the water? What is a water cleanse, or what made you do that?
So it's not my first time doing a water fast, water cleanse. I started out with just 24 hours, and then I elevated because I know this young lady who is vegan, and she has done this. She went through this program, and they used to create meals that were energetic and things like that. So she just has a lot of knowledge, and she was just sharing with me how water fasting and water cleansing actually helps to get rid of like excess mucus and starve out any type of ailments that you have going on in your body. And at 72 hours, actually, your cells start to regenerate.
Really?
Yes. So that was really my motivation. Once I realized that I was a beast and I could starve myself on purpose for 24 hours, this. So that was really, it's just health related for me, just to regenerate every so often, a couple of times throughout the year, to try to be as healthy as I possibly can be.
Oh man, what's the difference between going on a diet and doing a cleanse?
So
Hold
I
on,
don't.
first of all, you getting some flowers from a boo or somebody a loved one of sorts. Show them off.
Oh yeah, my son just brought me flowers. There you go.
Oh man, yeah,
Thank you.
that boy on the right track. He on the right track. He got. He was raised good. He was raised right.
Thank you. So I do not diet. All right, I do not. I believe in eating healthy, eating clean. Trying to stay away from processed foods. So when you talk about a diet, I think it's very restrictive and restricting, which is why I think most diets fail and people will try them and try the next fad diet and try the next fad diet because you're thinking about what you can't have and those limits instead of thinking about what you can have and how to maximize what you're able to eat and still be healthy. So I'm not into dieting, but what was your question? Because I forgot.
Oh, that you asked it. I was asking the question, what was the difference between doing a fast and doing a diet,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And I know we see a lot of trends that come up to, cut weight or to gain. Um, I just, I never liked diets. I don't even like the word diet. So
Yeah.
for me, it was kind of hard. But, seeing some of the things that you were doing to some of these cleanses, I was like, man, I want to try that. You said you felt really good after your water cleanse. Talk about another cleanse that you do. You do a greens cleanse also, right?
So I juice regularly. Not only do I drink the juices, my kids drink the juices. I like to juice things that I normally maybe wouldn't eat just because of the taste. Like things like dandelion greens are very bitter. I don't consume a lot of parsley, so I'll juice that with cilantro. These are things that are blood purifiers and can help remove toxins and heavy metals out of your body. So I'll combine that with something like apples so that it's not too terrible for the kids to drink to take away some of the bitterness.
Right.
Yeah, I love to juice. It's a great way to consume your fruits and vegetables. If you're not a veggie eater, you don't have to eat them. Drink them, juice them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I saw something that you did with the leftover pulp, I guess, from the juice. You dried it, and I've never seen that before. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so when you're juicing, you have a lot of leftover scraps or pulp. And there's usually you're trying to figure out what to do with it because yeah, I've thrown so much of it away, but I was like, there has to be a use for this. I
Right.
know that it serves a purpose. Like these are nutrients. So I put it in the oven on a baking sheet and I just baked it on low, like 175 to 185 for like between like 4 and 6 hours. You just have to keep looking at it to make sure that it's dry because you want it to be dry. You want all the moisture to be out because otherwise, once you seal it, it's going to mold. So you let it dry, let it cool, and then I use a mason jar or some other glass jar that I have. And I put one of those little fresh packet things that come in like your vitamins and stuff. I just
Hmm.
those like I keep those. And so I put one of those in there and yeah, when I make a smoothie, I'll pour the powder in. It's vitamins, it's nutrients. Whatever you juiced, it's now in a powder form. So you can buy stuff like that out of the store or you can make it at home, and especially if you're juicing and you have the scraps left over, then you might as well just go ahead and utilize it. So you can put it in a smoothie, you can put it in tea, you can put it in your plants because it's vitamins and nutrients.
That's awesome. Is it hard for you to convince your children that what you are giving them is good for them? Because I know they probably get tempted by all the sugars and the sweets and high fructose corn syrups and stuff, and then you come with some carrot chips, and they're like, "I don't know about, I don't know about these carrot chips, Mama." Is it difficult trying to get your children to eat healthy?
So I have two kids. So my son, it's not very difficult at all. Um, he'll eat the healthy things and sometimes he'll even refuse like the sweets if their sweets in the house because their kids are still allow them to have it sometimes. My daughter, on the other hand, that girl loves her some junk and some sweets. So for her, it is more of a struggle. But the thing is, I incorporate them. When we're juicing, I'll have her help me. I'll ask her if she wants to juice. Um, I'll ask them if they want a smoothie. Have her help make the smoothies. So just by them seeing me eat healthy and talk to them about why it's important to eat healthy, because I don't just say, hey, drink this. This is what you're going to have. Like, I talk to them about why it's important to drink green juices, and why it's important to stay away from sugar and the effects that sugar has on your body. So I think just with repetition and them seeing me, because it's not just something that I'm talking to them about. They actually see me living it and just trying to incorporate them into it. It's much easier for my son, who is older than my daughter, but my daughter is a work in progress, but we get it done. We still get it done.
We're getting there.
Yes.
Oh man, that's awesome. Talk about your fitness journey and how did you start to shape your body the way that you have?
So I would say my fitness journey really started in like college, but I was just inconsistent with working out. I really loved working out. Even after college, post college, I would go to the gym and I would be in there for like hours, and I was seeing the results, but I was not eating my best. And so when I would have like a stubborn 5 to 6 pounds that I wanted to lose, it really wasn't going anywhere because I was not eating my best. And so I just did, hate the word diet, but an elimination diet, so to speak, getting rid of certain things that I felt like wasn't good for my body. I started paying attention to the way my body was reacting to certain things and started eliminating it. And then when I did that, I felt better. I saw how my body responded with working out and eating healthy. And so I would say after I had my daughter, I got more consistent with it. Like, now I'm completely consistent. So I'm in the gym anywhere from 4 to 5 times a week, sometimes 3, just depending on how it goes. But it is really rejuvenating for me. Like, I need to work out. It helps my mental health. It helps my emotional health. It just helps me to get through the day. And exercise generates positive endorphins. So those positive endorphins that you get from exercising, it helps your mood. It helps you to, have a bigger smile for the day, and just to have a positive outlook and positive mindset. So it's not just all physical, it's emotional, it's mental. So just from working out, I've noticed the changes, and that made me want to be consistent.
Mm. I think you've inspired a lot of women, and they see you, they like, well, Bree can do it, I can do it too. And what do you say to those moms who, want to get a little bit, get their summer body ready, you know what I'm saying, or trying to get some of that baby weight off? What kind of advice would you give them just to get started and stay focused on achieving their journeys?
I would say start. Don't overthink it. Just go. The hardest part is usually always showing up. You have to show up first. Once you get there, you will figure it out. You will see people in the gym that will motivate you to be like, oh, if they're here, I can do it. Because sometimes in the mornings, like 2 or 3 times out of the week, there is a blind man that is in the gym working out. Like, one of the staff from the gym will help him to the machines, but he is in there. He is blind. Like, how much effort did it take for him to even get to the gym before he even got there? So I would just say start. And once you start, you have to remember your goals. Like, you have to make it something that really makes sense to you and means something to you. And once you have that emotional attachment to it, I don't think you'll want to let yourself down. And once you realize that you start seeing results and you start feeling better, even though the scale may not move as fast as you want it, but you start having more energy, you start seeing that your pants are a little looser, you start seeing that you have decreased brain fog, your mood has improved, then I think that it's something that you really just have to look at the benefits of what you've already achieved and make it a long-term goal. You can't think of it as like, oh, I'm just going to the gym and I'm just going to try this thing out. No, let's make it a lifetime commitment, because especially because you said moms, if you're a mom, you have kids and you need to be here for your kids and you want to be a positive example for your kids. So making a lifetime commitment, because it's about changing your lifestyle. It's not just about doing something for now. It's about changing your lifestyle so you have quality of life, longevity of life. And then you'll teach your kids, because they're seeing you be consistent. They're seeing you taking care of your body. They're going to want to do the same things. So just start. Remember why you started. Have your goals and just don't give up. Even if you fall off the bandwagon, go again and again and again and again until you start to become consistent. You'll find some aspect that you'll fall in love with. I mean, there are so many variations of exercise. You know, there's Pilates, there's yoga, there's strength training, fitness training, boxing, fighting, MMA, Zumba, dance fitness. Like, there are so many different avenues. So if one didn't work for you, don't give up. It's like going down the bread aisle. Like, you might try this white bread over here and you didn't like the way that it tasted, so you tried wheat. Like, just keep trying it, because this is for quality of life, and it's for, you know, being here for your kids. You want to be able to run with them. That was another motivation for me too, was I want to be in shape to run with my kids. My kids are very active. I'm not going to be the parent that's sitting here. I can't shoot the jump shot. I can't chase you. No.
Right.
I'm going to be out here running with you. You're going to see that mama got it. You better run faster because I'm on your heels.
Of course. Oh man, talk about some of the things that you do outside of the gym that kind of help you stay in shape. Like you mentioned, like doing Pilates and things like that. What are some activities that you enjoy doing that keep you in shape?
So one is definitely eating healthy outside of the gym. It is really important to eat healthy, because you can work out and then come home and eat a trash diet, junk, and the results, you're just not going to see them. So eating healthy is really important to me, because I know that what I put into my body matters, and how I nourish my body really just helps me to feel better about myself just in general. And I see results from that. But also, Pilates has been something new that I started. And I have to say that I've liked it. I've enjoyed it, because honestly, I'm not the best stretcher. I love strength training. I do. And stretching hasn't been something that I've been consistent at. So Pilates allows me to still get a workout, but it allows me to lengthen my muscles and stretch. And that feels really good, to just be able to do the things that you know you should be doing, but you're still working out. You're still physical. So I like that aspect of it, but also walking. I really enjoy getting outside, getting that vitamin D, the sun shining on me, listening to the birds chirp, and just getting a nice walk in. I generally will use my ankle weights, put my ankle weights on, and go for a walk, breathing some fresh air, and playing football and basketball with my son. I enjoy that as well.
Oh man, you got me tired just talking about this. I'm gonna have to stretch after this. Oh man, that's great. Well, listen, Brianna, thank you for giving us some of that information. We got another special guest in the building, and I'm gonna have you be part of the Best Damn Crew and ask some questions. But I want to introduce the jewel of the South. This woman is our first ever female wrestler on this platform. We've had legends of all sorts of kinds, and she is an up and rising star and legend in the making. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce the one and only Ameera Roze. What's that?
How much?
Girl, I like your whole feng shui. You look comfortable in your house. Oh man, happy Valentine's Day to you.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh man, it's great to see you. First of all, I want to thank you for coming on the show. And then I have this man, Mr. Everything, that just hopped on. Uh, I want him to give a slight introduction into how he knows you. And then we're going to get into a little bit about who he is. You dig what I'm saying? So, Mr. Everything, can you hear me?
Here, what's going on?
All right. Can you please give us some highlights about our esteemed guest?
Absolutely, absolutely. Ameera Roze is, like you said, is our very first women's wrestler. We're not gonna say females. We ain't gonna put we're gonna put some flowers on her name. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
First women's wrestler that we've had on the show. She's amazing talent. I've had the esteemed honor to be in some locker rooms with her, be on some shows, see her work. If I'm not mistaken, she came out of the Firestar Pro Wrestling Academy. Yes. And she's making her way through the towns, man. It's hard to be a professional wrestler in a men's game. It's 10 times harder doing it as a woman because there's so many different avenues, so many hoops and hurdles that you got to go through and jump over just to make a name for yourself, for people to give you the respect that you deserve. And Ameera is a woman who has went out there and got busy with no holdbacks, no barriers, like anything she's ever come up against. This woman has gone through it. You know what I mean? I don't speak to her much. I know she's probably like, how you know all this? I watch from afar. That's what real veterans do. We watch from afar, and then we come and say, yo, good job. And you just don't know what we're saying good job about, but we're watching. We're always watching. So I'm excited. I'm honored to have the one and only Ameera Roze.
Thank you.
Clap, claps, and tap taps all around. First of all, let me ask a question, right? When did you fall in love with wrestling?
It was definitely like sometime in not middle school, elementary. I want to say it was like 5th grade. I think 5th grade. Yeah. So I know my brother was watching it. I ended up watching it with him, and I like to say I fell in love a little bit more than he did.
Who were some of the people that you saw growing up that kind of influenced you kind of get into the business?
The Hardys for sure, Lita. There was a little bit of The Rock, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, DX pretty much, and trying to think who else. Those are like the main ones. Oh, Taker as well.
Okay, you talking about Attitude Era? That's my time. I like that. I think that's when a lot of people started to fall for wrestling because the TV was so edgy and the things that they were doing was just wrong. Some of the storylines back then was kind of crazy. Do you remember any storylines that you actually liked growing up? What was one of your favorite storylines?
I think it was more so Trish and Lita's rivalry because at that time, the women's weren't being shown as much as they are now. So just watching them be able to get to have their moments, and then also like main event for Raw, that was definitely something that I was into.
Awesome. Yeah. Have you tried Lita's moonsault yet?
No, I am not a moonsault girly. I'm not a high flyer. I'll leave that to everyone else who's able to do it. But I have done her Hurricanrana. I've done that. That's the most you would get out of me.
You're not jumping off the top rope?
I would do like a hair pull from the top, but like as for doing flips, yeah.
Stay on the ground.
Yeah, pretty much. I'll stay on the ground.
Awesome. Well, listen. Tell us about some of the promotions that you wrestled for, and for some of the fans that are not familiar with you, just tell them some of the companies and some of the talent that you've wrestled.
Okay. Off the top of my head, I can remember Firestar Pro Wrestling. That's where I trained, graduated. That's where you see most of my stuff at. I've also done Mission Pro Wrestling, I want to say once or twice. I can't remember. I've been at ACCW. I've done XWW. I was just at DCW 2 weeks ago. I do all Caribbean wrestling. I kind of go with them a little bit, or a few, if you guys know FEW. I'm just trying to think. I've been all over the place. I've done All Elite Wrestling as well. I've been on there like twice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I can remember off the top of my head.
Who did you wrestle in All Elite Wrestling? I know I saw a picture with you, and I think it was Red Velvet.
Red Velvet was actually All Caribbean Wrestling.
Okay.
I wrestled her, not for All Elite, but All Elite. I wrestled Tay Conti. She was my first opponent, and then the second opponent was Layla Gray.
Okay. So how did it feel to get to mix it up with those two ladies in the ring?
It was crazy.
Be honest. Who was terrible? Who was terrible? Tell me. Be honest.
I don't even want to say they weren't terrible. Neither one of them were terrible because they're on TV. They get the TV spill, blah blah blah. So
Right.
They weren't really terrible. It was just when I wrestled Tay, I was stupid green. It was like early in my career, so I really didn't know what to expect, and I didn't have that many movesets. So going into it, I was just like, I can do this, blah blah blah. And I just feel like I didn't perform to my best of my ability. And then when I wrestled Layla, we both basically said that we wanted to wrestle each other, but sometimes in wrestling your time gets cut. That kind of happened to us, so we didn't really get to do as much. But yeah, I love wrestling her. I would wrestle her again.
How long have you been wrestling?
Since 2020, so about almost 4 years. December before.
Okay. All right. Was it hard to convince the people that you love that this is a career that you wanted to get into?
My dad, he was all for it. Straight out the bat. He's cool. My mom, oh my gosh. My mom, it took forever. Honestly, the moment she was just like, okay, cool, was when I did a spot with Ronda Rousey on WWE. That was one of those moments where she was like, okay, you're good. I can see you doing this. I would support you. But before, it was just like, well, why are you doing this? You could be doing something else. And I was just like, because I love it and I'm actually good at it. And I could see myself doing this for years and potentially making it. So I guess her actually seeing that one moment and like somewhat seeing a future, she was just like, cool. I trust you. I will support you.
Was it difficult going through wrestling school? Like, take us through that experience of what it's like to be in a wrestling school or program.
I know for other people it may be difficult. It wasn't so much for me because I do have an athletic background. What did hurt the absolute most, will hear, if you're listening, you will hear people say this, is taking those dang old bumps. Oh my gosh, those first few bumps, I was just like, what is this? Oh my gosh. And then it took me forever to learn how to roll correctly because my body just wanted to go one way while my mind was saying go this way. I think that was really like the main issue for me, was just trying to get my body to connect with my mind and just, focus in this. But other than that, like, it wasn't too bad because I did sports and then I did marching band. So I was more into the physical aspect of it all as well as mental.
Oh, you did marching band. You had good knees. Yeah, so I already know. Your knees have got to be strong for
Yes, I had to. Yes.
Real quick, with your sports background, touch on what sports you've played and how that helped you in terms of the professional wrestling, how to transition with how to get into the wrestling aspect and your cardio. Let's talk about the transition from the cardio from the sports you played before and getting into professional wrestling. Because I tell people all the time, ain't nothing like no wrestling cardio in this entire planet. I don't care what you've done. Wrestling has the most top-notch cardio ever. So run us through that little transition. So in elementary and middle, I did a little bit of the YMCA soccer.
That was fun. And then middle and high school, I did track. And when you say the cardio and wrestling is totally different, I was a sprinter. This has nothing on sprinting. Like, oh my gosh. Like when I say I'd be gassed sometimes just from running the ropes or doing like a spot, it's totally different than running like a 100 meter, 200 meter, 400 meter dash, 200 freaking relay. It's totally different. So you actually have to train your lungs and your body to go through the whole entire process of running the ropes and not getting winded and being able to learn how to breathe in and then breathe out when you're supposed to, as well as running spots. You have to learn to control your breathing and stuff. So I think I definitely know that track helped with that because I knew whenever you're running, you gotta breathe in and then breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in with your nose, breathe out with your mouth. So I do that whenever I wrestle. As for soccer, I didn't really do that as much. But I will say I know marching band isn't really a sport, but I consider it a sport because I went through so much. It helped with the discipline, being able to multitask, being able to remember things, as well as just staying on top of stuff and staying in shape. So throughout all that, I did work out and while I was doing the sports. So that definitely helped in towards me becoming a wrestler.
Awesome. Let me introduce you to fitness influencer Brianna Dion. Bri, do you have a question for our esteemed guest?
Hey, how are you?
Good, and you?
I am good. It's so awesome to be here with you, but also just to hear about you wrestling because that looks like so much hard work. Like I don't even know how in the world y'all do that. It looks like theatrics, but at the same time sports. You know what I'm saying? It's like this whole theatrical sports event. So it looks like just a lot goes into it. So how do you mentally prepare for going out in the ring?
Like during the show?
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, I'm losing my mind before I go out. Sometimes I'm cool, calm, and collected, but if I'm at a different place and I don't really know the crowd like that or the people in the locker room, I am low key like I'm losing it, but I look so calm. So I just let my body do what it needs to do, let my mind do what it needs to do. But once I get through those curtains, it's just like something to switch every time. Yeah.
Lights, camera, action, then you're ready.
Yes.
That's what's up.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm really happy to see. I got all these. Hold on. You know what? I'm really happy to see. All of this representation from black and brown people in wrestling, and I know we talked about it before, but we growing up we didn't really see a lot of that. And now you're seeing these beautiful fit women like Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill come up and really redefine the stereotypes of black women. Can you talk about that real quick?
Oh yeah, just like you said, growing up, I didn't really see that many people. There was Jacqueline, there was Jazz, there was Alicia Fox, and those were the main people, along with Awesome Kong. Like those were the only few black women that was pretty much being shown on TV. So now you look on AEW, there's so many black women. You go look on WWE, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, or NXT, there's so many women. And then also when you look on the indies, I don't know if you guys seen that poster where they posted like the women within wrestling as well as the men. There's so many now. So I feel like this day and age, the younger generation who's looking up to us, they can definitely say, oh my gosh, I see somebody just like me who's doing this. I can do it too. I actually had somebody comment on my YouTube and he was like, my daughter actually have somebody to look up to. And that made me feel good because, I didn't have that. I didn't really have that. So I love it so much that we have a lot of representation now.
Awesome. What are some of your goals in wrestling? Like, what are some things that you would like to personally achieve in your career?
Yeah. For one, win more belts because right now I got two. Definitely get my
Hold up. When
name.
you say you got two of them things,
Yes, I got two.
all
Yes, I
right.
have the Firestar Pro Wrestling Women's Belt as well as United Pro Wrestling Women's Belt. Yeah, there we are. Mirror two belt.
Bang, bang. I had to throw them out there real quick. You know what I'm saying? Just for if people thought you was play pimping out here in these streets, I had to let them know.
Yeah, I'm like that. But yeah, I just want to win a little bit more belts just to let people know that I'm definitely serious this year. I want to get out there some more, go to different promotions, wrestle a lot more names, a lot more people. Pretty much make a name for myself to where I feel confident enough to say, hey, yeah, I'm Ameera Roze. You should definitely know who I am. Or when I go places, be like, oh my gosh, that's Ameera Roze. That's what I want. As well as I want to do more matches on AEW, and potentially do something for WWE. I know it's very slim, but you just never know. And then potentially have a tryout.
All right. Ain't no potentially to it. You gonna do it, sister. We putting that in the air. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We putting that thing in the air, Jack. Talk about some of your strength and conditioning, right? How do you stay fit and ready?
Well, I try to train as much as possible whenever my schedule allows me to. And then I also have a personal trainer that I've been going back to. So he's been keeping me as well as SoFly Manulo in check. So that's what I've been doing.
Awesome. We got the resident chef of the Best in Wrestling podcast, Chef Showtime, up there. Birthday boy. Chef, you got a question for our guest?
Well, what is your meal of choice? Your go-to meal that you eat every day?
So y'all want the real version or the fake?
We want the real deal.
Yo, I
Cheese,
eat like
pockets, and noodles.
I eat terrible. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I will eat pizza over anything. So like I don't know. I've been eating pasta. I've been trying to get a little bit better with it, but some pasta.
Man, eat what you want. Eat what you want. Look, that's the thing I tell people. We burn on so much energy and calories.
Mhm.
We eat whatever we want. So you stay in the gym, eat what you want, get in the ring, get busy. They can't even touch you anyway. So if you start eating healthy, it's gonna be a problem.
Right. Just wait on it because it's coming. I'm gonna force myself to do it one day.
Real quick, when you talked about the representation in terms of what you see as a role model now with the Black community, where do you feel yourself fitting at with the independent community, with all the Black women that we have out there now? You know, you just mentioned that they had that poster. Where do you see yourself fitting at in terms of all of that? Like, do you see yourself as one of the top role models? Do you see yourself as, you know, Black Girl Magic, or, you know, whatever label that you want to put on? Where do you see yourself?
I see myself as someone who is on the come up. So if someone look at my story from the beginning and then now they could be like, oh yeah, like underdog type, I guess. I don't know. I guess you had to follow me from like the beginning and understand my story to like understand who I am. And then people who are going through the same thing, they could look at me and be like, okay, she's an inspiration. And I definitely appreciate where she's going. And because she's doing that and she fought through what she had to fight through, I can too. So that's the type of representation
Absolutely.
or what I want people to look at as. Not more so like, oh yeah, she's the best of the best. Nah. I want mine to actually have like a meaning behind it.
Right. A lot of time with professional wrestling, when we start to build our character, everyone says your wrestling character is you heightened up to a certain level, whether it's times 5, times 10. Tell me who Ameera Roze in terms of wrestling is in terms of real life. Like how did, and what was the biggest thing you had to overcome to become the Ameera Roze for professional wrestling?
Gotcha. I know I usually like do a cryptic message, but at this point I don't really care. So
It's a place of truth.
Yeah, nah. I just feel like because whenever somebody asks me this question, I usually be like, yeah, something happened to me back in like college, and that's why I'm this way. Mainly, I dealt with like a moment where I feared for my life. I thought I was going to die. I had a ex who one day just snapped and just started abusing the crap out of me. And it put me in this situation where I was very low, depressed and stuff. And I started looking at life differently. I was just like, am I really moving the way I want to move, or am I settling? So I literally was just like, okay, cool. Let me look at things differently. Let me reevaluate my life. And throughout that phase, I just saw this thing called the Black Rose, and I started looking at the meaning. It was like rebirth. And I was just like, okay, cool. Let me just use that as a nickname if I do wrestling. So my character was more so a play on who I wish I was, which is more confident, more outspoken, taking control, pretty much. I don't give a crap about what anybody says. People are going to listen to me. Nobody's going to walk over me. That's pretty much who I started pretty much making myself into. So I kept that since 2018. And then once I actually debuted it, I debuted as Lily. It's still out there. Debuted as Lily. So people saw me go from like this bubbly, like shy guy to this girl who was like, you know what? Heck no, this is not what we about to do. I'm Ameera Roze. You better freaking listen to me and know my name. So that's where my character came from. It's more so like a play on my life, like who I wish I was, and pretty much building my own confidence while I'm doing it, and just telling a little story all at the same time.
I
And
love
let me
that.
tell you guys. Let me tell you guys. Ameera would be in the locker room, and you would not even know she's even in there. Okay, she'll be in there. She'll be doing her hair. She'll be doing the makeup, and she'll be on her phone or whatever. And she's quiet, extremely quiet. Like you would have to go and look for her to know she's in the show. But when it's showtime and she's at that curtain, and she walked through there. Night and day, night and day. Like it's bananas the way she just turns it on like that.
Yes, I've actually had my uncle say the same thing. He came down from Germany and he was like, where's the Ameera Roze you be posting on social media? Like, you're so quiet right now. Where's this girl? I'm like, you got to catch me off guard. Like, you got to catch me in the mood, man.
Oh man, what are some of the biggest challenges that you've faced since you started your wrestling journey?
I'm not really getting the respect, but having people trust you enough to put you on their show. Because sometimes you can reach out and you have so much faith in what you can do, but the promoter may not, and you don't get a reply. That's my main issue currently, is that. Or also getting in my head, because you can ask any wrestler, what we do is so tough. You'll have moments where you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. I'm going the path that I want to go. Everything's working out in my favor. And then you have a moment where you're like, ooh, is this really what I want to do? Why isn't it things working out right? So that's one of my issues that I do have, is sometimes I have like very bad anxiety. I get in my head and I just start questioning things.
Do you have a manager, or are you the one that's doing all the reaching out in order to get booked for different shows?
It's me. We're all independent contractors, pretty much. Shoot, I wish I had a manager. Make my life easier.
Well, at the moment, that's the way things are working. But however, I have something to tell you, Ameera.
Okay.
We've had a guest on the show. His name is Austin Aries. And he mentioned on the show that he's actually going to start running an agency for independent wrestlers.
Oh,
so Ameera, if you keep your head high and your toes, on standing on business, it could be a possibility and it could be an opportunity. I can connect you with Austin Aries and we'll see how that works out, because he knows exactly how it is in terms of what we go through to try to get these promoters to pay us correctly and treat us correctly. He wants to be that middleman to say, no, if you can't pay her hotel, her flight, per diem because we got to eat, and transportation from the hotel to the venue to the airport, then we're not doing it. You know, he wants to be able to put us in a position to where we're in demand, so that way we don't have to demand anything.
I love that.
You know, we'll see what happens, man. His first show that he put on was last month or early this month. He has a promotion down in Clearview, Florida, or Crestview, somewhere around there, down in the Panhandle of Florida. So I'm going to connect you with him with that as well, and then we want to see what happens after that.
Definitely, thank you.
How would you describe your style? Both outside of the ring and inside of the ring. Like how I want to know, what do you dress like on a normal basis, and what is your ring gear? How did you get inspired by your ring gear to have your ring gear?
So outside, I think it's more comfortable. As you can see, like when it's not show day, it's comfortable. During the show day, I pretty much dress as if I've already made it. I've always heard that, dress as if you made it, because you never know who's there, who's in the building. And then for my gear, it's really just whatever I can find, like fabric wise. But people come up to me like, "Oh yeah, your gear reminds me of Mortal Kombat," and I'm like, "Oh really?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I just find a fabric, or I go off of SoFly's gear and just go from there.
Awesome. Let me give the spotlight real quick to Brianna Beyond, because not only is she a fitness influencer, but she also sells life insurance. And so I wanted to give her a spot because a lot of entertainers, they don't have life insurance. They don't know how to apply for it. And in certain arenas like wrestling or MMA or fighting professionally, it may be difficult to know what kind of insurance plans that you should get. So I want to get some information on life insurance and why it's important to have life insurance, whether you are a regular person or whether you are an entertainer.
Yeah, so I am a licensed life insurance agent. Life insurance is something that everyone absolutely should have. It doesn't matter if you have kids or you don't have kids, you absolutely need life insurance. I would say a big misconception about life insurance is that it can only be used upon death when it pays out to the beneficiary, but that's not true. You can utilize life insurance while you are still living. A lot of people do that. If you think about the Rockefellers, that's something that they did. There's books that have been written about this from many, many years ago. Walt Disney started by utilizing money from a life insurance policy, J.C. Penney, John Deere. There are several other companies as well. So it's really important, one, to protect yourself so that, and being financially responsible so that your family doesn't have to do that, have a GoFundMe or figure out how they're going to pay for expenses upon, your death, because everyone's going to die at some point in life, which, we're hoping that that's many, many years from now, but it's just about being responsible. And then the other part of that is also understanding what life insurance can do for you. I know a lot of people that are independent contractors don't think about retirement. And when you don't have a 401k or you don't have some type of savings plan for the future, you can utilize life insurance for that as well. That's one of the aspects of being able to utilize it while you're still living. There's different types of life insurance, of course. So in order to be able to pull from a cash value account, you would need to have life insurance that also includes cash value. So there's permanent life insurance, and then there's term. And underneath that, there are different products.
What would be the benefit of a wrestler having life insurance?
Well, it's financial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I understand just from this conversation that wrestlers are independent contractors, so I would say there's no 401k plan. So if you establish a life insurance contract that has cash value, you can plan for your retirement by utilizing that life insurance. You're paying your premium, you have money that's going into your cash value account. You're planning for how much money you're going to need for retirement. It's really a whole financial snapshot. And planning is to understand what your needs are when you retire. How much money are you going to need to live comfortably from retirement age to your predicted amount of years that you expect to pass away? If that's 25 years, do you have enough money in the bank to say you're going to need $90,000 a year times 20? So with life insurance, you're able to have your death benefit as well as accumulate that cash value. And you can say, oh, I plan to retire at 65. So then you can start to borrow from the policy to utilize that as retirement income.
Awesome.
And
And
hold on, sorry. But another aspect of that is living benefits too. So if you become severely injured or ill, like having a severed kneecap or suffer from a heart attack or stroke, you're able to utilize the living benefit so that you're able to still live. You can pull money from the life insurance policy, to pay for hospital bills and still be able to live while you're dealing with this illness. So you don't have that type of mental anguish and stress as well as a financial burden. You can utilize the life insurance in that aspect too.
Okay. That's great. Let me get some information real quick because some wrestlers do have injuries, right? And stuff does happen. On the fitness side, what are some ways of recovering from an injury? Like, what are some things that you can do to help recover from an injury?
I think first you need to see your doctor to make sure it's nothing serious that's going on. But sauna, cryo. I already say that wrong.
Cryo? Is that
one.
something like that? It's close.
Yes, it's really good for your body. And even just going from the sauna into a cold shower to just shock your body after you've done that. It helps to relieve inflammation out. There are different herbs that you can use that are good for inflammation. There's different topicals, topical herbals that you can use. And then also stretching. I mean, I think it's really important that we pay attention to our tendons and our ligaments just as much as we do building our muscles. So I would definitely say those things for sure. They've helped me, and that's why I can say that. And I know people that former professional athletes that really swear by the sauna and the cryotherapy. They work. Cryo. What is it?
I think it's cryo.
Cryotherapy.
That's going to be a word for the day.
Yes.
So get the cryo in.
There we go.
Oh man, well thank you for that information.
Yeah.
I wanted to have you talk about that because we have both ends of the spectrum, right? Ameera, you kind of just getting into the game and Mr. Everything. You've been wrestling for a long time, and I know that a lot of wrestlers actually watch the show and they don't have life insurance or have a way of going about it. Was knowing how they can use it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can actually take money out of your life insurance and pay for all your travels. You know what I'm saying? And then you just got to pay, put money back in at the end of the year. But I think it's good to talk about that because I don't think a lot of people talk about that. Mr. Everything, is that something that you hear on the indie circuits, man? There's people talking about, life insurance. I know a lot of people have like families and stuff.
Nah, not very much, man. I mean, I don't think anybody really talks about any kind of insurance at all. Me myself being a military veteran, I just go to the VA, which is horrible, so horrible, so horrible. We got to do so much better for our veterans because we go through so much just to get some type of service. And we've given the service, and now we got to fight to actually get our type of health insurance and doctor's appointments and coverage and all that jazz. But it's not something very common that we talk about on the independents. It may be on the top levels, like the larger companies, but as far as the independents, everybody's just kind of doing their own thing and figuring out as they go. We have the mentality, and Ameera can attest to it, to where we're like, I'm not going to get injured. I'm not going to do none of the stupid stuff. But then with professional wrestling, we can get in the ring and do whatever and do all the crazy stuff and go through tables and chairs and whatnot, and then go home and slip on a daggone Lego and tear our whole kneecap out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like professional wrestling has got to be the most backwards thing. Like our lives are the most backwards things that you have in the planet. We can do all this crazy stuff in the ring, be fine. People looking at us like, you're not hurt? Nope, I feel great. And go home and slip on a banana peel and hit our head on the side of the daggone dresser. Like, how did that happen? From wrestling? No, I was at home. But we lied. We lied though. We'll lie real quick. I got in a bar fight. Yeah. You should see the other guy, you know.
Yeah. I can definitely see that, man.
But that's why I do what I do, you know, because these conversations aren't prevalent amongst certain communities, amongst certain professions. So it's important to be able to share the information so that then a seed is dropped, and then maybe you'll go and research it on your own, or, you know, research books that you can find online and just get more educated about it, but not just take the education, but then act, because you realize that, oh, this is something that I can really utilize, and it will help me now, but it can also help my children and my children's children. So it's really about dropping that seed and just sharing, because I didn't always know this stuff either. It was somebody who shared it with me. And then I was like, what, is this real? And then I started reading the books about it, reading the books, talking to people who have utilized life insurance in real life. And then I've been able to do it myself.
Awesome.
You know, I might go look up some premiums right now. right after this show, I'm gonna give me a nice premium.
Okay.
Ameera, real quick. So, with you only being in the business for 4 years, and you've seen some of the top talent all around the U.S. on the independents and on the larger companies, give me somebody you would love to have the opportunity to step in the ring with, and let me know if it's like as a learning experience or just to be able to test your ability.
I know I recently did Red Velvet. She was definitely one of them. I want to say Thunder Rosa just because they say she's like a hard hitter. I definitely also want to wrestle a lot more. Well, not a lot more because I haven't wrestled anybody, but Japanese wrestlers, because that's the type of style that I study. So I just want to be able to learn their style all while wrestling them at the same time.
Oh, you want to be violent? Okay.
Can I ask, what's the difference between like Japanese style and American style?
Ooh, that's a big difference. Some will say that they're hard hitters, but they're not really. They do a lot more. I'm about to speak wrestling terms, spots. So their stuff is more boom, 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 boom. And then you probably get what I'm saying. Mr. Everything, but their style is totally different. American is like we have our beginning, the middle, and the end. Theirs is it's constant. It's constant.
Yeah.
So
I've
in
been
terms of
chopped.
Japanese style,
Go ahead.
yes, in terms of Japanese style, they're constantly going. It's always some kind of action.
And they do a lot of high flying stuff too. So. Yeah.
Yeah, and then once they stop, there's the pizzazz. So it's like bing, 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 boom, bam, bing, 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 boom, and then wow. Where with American style, well, let's go, brother, and then we'll work it a little bit. And like, okay, let's go to this hold and we'll work it a little bit. Let's do this spot and we'll work it a little bit. And you know, we everything is built on emotion, whether it's Japanese or American, but we kind of take our time a lot more than Japanese style. And they are a lot more snug than we are. So once they get to a point, it's like, okay, I'm gonna lay it in, brother. They lay it in. We're over here, like, I mean, you hit me too hard, we will have a real situation, real problem.
Also, their crowd is different. So with us, our crowd is more like you will hear them constantly. If you watch a Japanese match, 9 times out of 10, they're silent. They are silent until they do like that big move where it's like, oh yeah, now it's time for me to clap. And then it's like you'll hear them make little noises, but it's night and day.
Yeah. I think after a chop to my nipple, I'm quitting after that. I don't want to get you know what I'm saying? No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I was going to be a trash collector or something. Who's hit you the hardest so far? Have you been hit hard yet?
Have y'all known my trainer? LeBron goes off. He hits hard as heck. But I want to say it's between Dream Girl Ellie and Red Velvet. Their forearms and their chops hurt, but I love it. Cause I'm like, I always tell people, please hit me. Like, let me feel that junk. I will give it right back to you. But yeah, it's between those two.
Oh man. Like I say, first shot, I'm good after that. Look straight.
Where do you feel, or how do you feel about intergender wrestling? Women versus men. How do you feel about that aspect?
I'm not against it at all, because the reason why I said it is because when I train mostly guys. So if I have a practice match, I have a practice match with the guys. And at first I was more comfortable wrestling them because of that. I was like the only female for the absolute longest. So if someone was like, hey, I want you to wrestle so-and-so, I'm cool with it. I mean, at DCW, I wrestled Kaden and we had a great match. So I'm all for it. If anybody ever wanted to book me, I'm like, cool, let's do this. Let me be able to showcase some of the stuff that I'm not able to showcase with the girls. I love it.
And Kaden don't count. Right? Kaden don't count.
Not at all.
Kaden is the princess of independent wrestling. We got to get Kaden on the show one day too. I'm gonna set that up right now. We got to get Kaden on the show.
Let's make it happen. Let's make that happen. Oh man. Oh, real quick, just a little leisure conversation. Did you guys happen to check out the Super Bowl this weekend?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh. Yes.
It is? Okay. Let's talk about that halftime show real quick. I want to get your thoughts. We got 2 ladies here. I wanted to get your thoughts on Usher's halftime show and how it compared to last year's with Rihanna. First of all, did you guys enjoy? Let me ask Ameera first. Did you enjoy the halftime show?
I did. I like how simple it was, yet he had a lot going on. I feel like it worked for Usher. If anybody else did it, I don't know, but it worked for Usher. It gave me like the Vegas vibe, like what he does down there. So I liked it.
Okay. There was one spot where Usher and Alicia Keys kind of, they were performing together. And we got to talk about that thing. Bree, I know you saw it. Usher was a little snug on Alicia Keys, man. Do you think they went too far?
So I just thought it was a part of the performance. Like, I really didn't think anything outside of that. They're entertainers. I mean, they want you to continue to talk about the performance even after it's done. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was a part of the performance. That's it.
Swiss Beats ain't think that. Swiss Beats was looking like, hey man, you got one more check. You got one more time to touch my woman like that, bro. You got one more.
Did he really though? Because let's think about it. They had to have rehearsed before they went out there. I'm sure they spoke about that spot before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It won't know like it's in the spur of the moment. Come here, baby. I love you. Type thing. Like, and even if it was, it's something. It's pretty innocent, in my opinion. Because you're doing a Super Bowl.
They look innocent to you, huh? That's some work wife vibes right there. Look how happy she is. I ain't never seen her that happy with Swiss. Get your hands, man. I'm seeing the way you were doing.
Has she ever done the Super Bowl?
I'm telling you, that's why the ice cream machine don't work right there. The ice cream machine don't work because they up there hugging and stuff. But I don't know. I thought it was
192 why I don't like the internet.
Oh no, man. Tell your boy Usher to keep his hands to himself. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I thought it was a good show. Did you enjoy the games? Bree, I know you watched it. Did you enjoy the game?
I did. I just thought it was really long, but I did think that it was a good Super Bowl because nobody wants to watch a boring game, especially for the Super Bowl. So I enjoyed it. At first, though, I thought the 49ers were going to win because their defense was solid.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I thought they had a good solid run. Ameera, let me ask you a real question. Do you think that the Super Bowl is rigged? Do you think that they put on fake followers? We wrestling fans. I know what a scripted show looked like. All of that looked scripted to me. It was way too many commercials. They had a whole new overtime with all new rules and shit. Like, do you think that show was scripted? You are a wrestler. You've been on wrestling promotions and shows before. Do you think the Super Bowl was scripted?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I've saw so many like TikToks saying that it was, so it's like kind of making me think, maybe it is. And I've also heard about that for like other sports where we thought it was quote unquote real. So I don't know. Like, the more and more I see videos that's coming out, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's too coincidental.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to also get canceled for saying the wrong thing. So.
Well, I'll say it for you. I think it was scripted. I'll say it. I was looking at that game. I was like, that looked mighty planned. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple situations where they shouldn't have made it that far. You know what I'm saying? But I digress. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get demonetized. But anyway, I saw the Super Bowl. I thought that was good, but it did look a little suspect.
Yeah, my main issue was just how much they showed Taylor Swift. I was just like, okay, I get it. She's dating what's his face, but like, we don't have to show her every 5 seconds. As well as posting on social media. That's it.
She's
say what you want.
That's why they keep showing her. Because she's in another demographic audience and just because they know she's gonna be there. Yeah.
Say what you want. Tay-Tay won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Tay-Tay won it.
Taylor Swift won the Super Bowl. She took that victory, Jack. For sure. Oh man. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great conversation. Real quick, I want you guys to let everybody know what you got going on and where can they find you. Let me start at the top. Miss Brianna Dion, what you got going on and where can people find you?
So let's see. If you need life insurance, definitely contact me because I can definitely help you. My son has something going on. He is now a child author. He has written a book. It's called JMP Plays Football, and you can go to www.bigvisionkids.com to check that book out. Actually, to order a copy of the book. My daughter's book will be coming up next. You can find me on Instagram at It's a Fit Me, and on TikTok I'm at FabFitBri, BRI Bri. Yeah.
Awesome. So make sure you.
I can't. It's just all about the kids tonight, though. Yeah.
All about the kids. You know what I'm saying? Treat the kids. You know what I'm saying? Well, thank you. And y'all make sure y'all go follow Miss Brianna Dion and her fitness journeys. And get some insurance. Mr. Everything, what you guys going on and where can the people find you?
Oh man, you already know. So look, follow my TikTok. I need more TikTok followers because now I got my TikTok shop set up. I'm selling stuff. I got some shoes from TikTok. Got some shoes. Nice shoes. Lightweight. So follow my TikTok, man. Official _ Mr. Everything. You already know I'm always wrestling somewhere. I'm working on. I'm getting ready to get into a stage play. I work with a guy named Maurice Lochner. He has been on the Cosby Show. He has done some Tyler Perry plays. He came and we sat down, we chopped it up, and he has something coming up here in Raleigh and you know across the U.S. He just did a show with Vicky Winings in Oklahoma City. So he's like, yo, man, I watched you. I sit back and I observe. I want to put you on to some stuff. So be on the lookout for Mr. Everything stepping on the stage, doing the stage play thing. I got movies out. I got TV shows out. I've been on wrestling shows. Now I'm going to be on the stage play because I do everything. That's right.
That's right.
You see it.
Y'all make sure y'all go check out Mr. Everything Tubi movies. He got some of them Tubi movies.
Hey.
Why do you say that? You make it sound so bad, like so dirty.
Oh, you're serious?
Tubi be having his moments.
Yeah, Huey be having his moments, but I have a really. This is my first movie. You know, we did our thing. It was zero budget, zero. We ain't had no money, no money. But you know what? No money movie would get us big money movie. So
There
you
you
know,
go.
it's a process. It's a process. Oh, and I'm coming to Dallas, Texas, March 2nd. I would be stepping in the ring for the very first time for professional wrestling, ran by Sir Mo. And my opponent has changed. So originally it was going to be the Future. Now it's going to be Ryan Davidson. And we've had him on the show. I've stepped in the ring with him before. He's done some stuff with just some Japan's companies, and he's one of the top trainers for Reality of Wrestling. And pretty soon you will see me at Reality of Wrestling, ran by Booker T and Sharmell. So there's that. It's everything's on it.
All right, that's Mr. Everything. Y'all go follow him on all his platforms. Go watch one of his Tubi movies where he got one of them badass Tyler Perry wigs, half dreads, half afro, box braids in the back.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Oh man, Miss Ameera Roze, what you got going on, and where can the people find you?
This Saturday, I will be in Tennessee for Imperial. I'm not 100% sure if the match is confirmed, but yeah, I will be there. And I'm trying to think if I have something next week. No, I actually don't have nothing next week. The next bookings I have is in March, so I'll be posting that on my Instagram, Facebook, as well as Twitter. So you guys can follow me on those. I also have TikTok and YouTube. So my handle is the same for each and every one of them. So you can follow me at Lil McKizzie. So that's LilMcCCIZZIE. And don't ask me where that came from because I really don't know.
Lil McKenzie. All right. That sounds like something you call you. One of your cousins gave you that name. That's what it is. Lil McKenzie.
Brian, real quick, before we move on, you know what we got to do. You know what we have to do. We do it every time we have a guest. And I'm an equal opportunity ass hander. So, Ameera Roze, it's time to take you to promo school.
Oh, Lord.
Do we have a graphic? Do we have a
You
graphic?
know it.
We don't have a graphic for that? Come on, I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, one of them. Promo school. Listen, we do this thing each and every episode. Mr. Everything always has some kind of a beef with the wrestlers that we have on the show. You know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna have you cut a promo on Mr. Everything. Just go ahead and hand his ass to him. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to leave no stone unturned. I want you to go for the jugular. You know what I'm saying? Take him out, pull some of the hairs out of his beard. You know what I'm saying? I want you to go in on this promo. Mira, you going first. Do your worst. We going to promo school.
All right, let's see. What can I say? All right, let me get into character real quick. Give me a second. You call yourself Mr. Everything. I give you that because you've done so much. You've been everywhere pretty much, and you made a name for yourself. But my name is Ameera Roze, and there is absolutely nothing that is going to stop me from getting what I want, especially you. So if you want to get in the ring with me and try me because I'm a girl, trust me, you got something coming for you. So Mr. Everything, keep that little name because once I'm done with you, you're going to be Mr. Nothing. See you next week.
Ooh. Mic drop.
Let that breathe. Let it breathe. She left the mic smoking. Mr. Everything, what you got to say? That's a hard act to follow, my friend.
It is. It is. And the issue is that it was an act. Ameera, you act like you're one of the best. You act like you're one of the toughest women in professional wrestling today. Let me tell you something. I don't act like I'm tough. I don't act like I'm Mr. Everything because I've always been Mr. Everything. Whether it's in the wrestling ring, a boxing ring, an MMA cage, behind a camera, in front of a camera, on a runway stage, it doesn't matter what it was. I've always been and always will be Mr. Everything. Now let me explain something to you, little lady. I'm not one to put my hands on a woman, but I know somebody who can. Because see, not only have I been Victor Andrews, I've always been Jessica Lashley. So anytime that you feel like you're ready to step in the ring with a legend like Jessica Lashley, better do your research. Ask my older brother about me. Because Jessica Lashley is ready when you are.
Oh man, listen, you got to go in drag in order for you to fight. You gotta put on a wig and a dress.
Look, I'm putting it all out there. All of it out there, bro.
Yeah, you was on TV with a dress on,
You
bro.
didn't see that coming. I bet you didn't see that coming.
I didn't. That took a turn. That took a U-turn detour. All right, I'll say. Oh man, well that was promo school. We appreciate you for participating in that and handing Mr. Everything half in his ass. We appreciate that thing. Oh man, listen, we do this thing each and every Wednesday. It's a way for us to give a little bit of motivation, a way for us to give back, to get people through their week. Mr. Everything, do you have a final word or word of motivation for your beautiful subjects?
Yes. Live life like it is your last second. And what I mean by that is don't hold nothing back. Don't accept no as a final answer. Don't go into hopes and wishes and what ifs. Just go and get it. Whatever it is you want to do, go and get it. Whatever it is you want to pursue, go and pursue it. Whatever it is you want to grasp is right there. It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, but as long as you put enough energy, enough power into it, it will happen. Faith without works is dead, so put some energy into whatever you want to do and go do it. That is Mr. Everything's final word for the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast.
Oh man, that was a great final word from the one and only Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews. Brianna Dion, do you have a final word or word of motivation for your beautiful subjects?
Absolutely. To piggyback off of what Mr. Everything said, be kind to yourselves. Take inventory of your thoughts, what you're listening to, what you're watching. If you are kind, then you can be kind in this world. If you don't know how to be, just practice. Write down one positive statement and revisit that over and over and over until it starts to resonate with you. And then you can begin to say more positive things about yourself. If you have a positive mindset, you can be kind in this world. If you have a positive mindset, you can just change your trajectory of even your life and how you see things, just your outlook, period, which will cause you to go farther so that you can just do those things that you want to do. You won't be held captive to your own thoughts. So take inventory, be positive, be kind.
Oh man, that is the final word from the one and only Brianna Dion. Miss Ameera Roze, do you have a final word, a word of motivation, a word to get people through their week that you would like to share with your beautiful followers?
Yeah, since they're piggybacking off of each other, I would say stay motivated. Write down your goals, manifest often, because whatever you write down could eventually happen. That's what happened with me. So even if it's small or it's large, no matter how big it is, write it down, because you never know. One day it might come true and you might actually be surprised. So just continue fighting for it.
Just continue fighting for it. That is a quotable from the one and only Ameera Roze. Let me get Big Face real quick. Oh, I'm out here sweating like Usher once he got off the stage. Hold up. My final word comes from an author. His name is Robert Bruce. It is not what you don't have. It's what you think that you need that keeps you from being happy and successful. Let me say that again. It's not what you don't have, but it's what you think you need that's holding you back from being happy and successful. Sometimes we can want things and say, oh man, once I get that gym membership, then I get my body right. Or once I get that car, then I'll be happy. You know what I'm saying? Once I get these physical things, then I'll be able to start my business. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time it's not like that. You have to be in a place where you can receive the blessings in life. And sometimes you have to take what you already have and mold it and use it and start from where you are. And then once you start from where you are, then things that you want and need will start to come to you. You will start to attract those things. You know what I'm saying? So don't be paralyzed with things that you think you need in order for you to be successful. Just start where you are, make a plan, execute, and make it happen. That is a final word from your boy, Brian Renegade. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, has been a great show. Thank you guys for joining us. Miss Ameera Roze and Brianna Dion, you are both alumni and members of the Best Damn Crew. You can come on anytime that you want to. If you got something to promote, talk about, you can come on the show. You can just shoot the shit with us. You know what I'm saying? And we always have great conversations. If you got a word of motivation that you want to get across to your people, you can let us know. You know what I'm saying? But you guys are welcome anytime on the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
What?
Real quick. And ladies, please help us getting more women on the show. We've had a lot of guys. I've had connections with women, but you ladies have the front line to, motivators and people that are doing things. Ameera, you have connections with independent wrestlers. Brianna, I'm sure you have connected with a lot of fitness women and, whatever they're doing, entrepreneurs, women that are doing things, role models, Black Girl Magic, women power, all that good jazz. Bring them on to the show so that way we can get more information out for people who really need to hear particular things and see that there are women out here that are doing things. Because there's too much media that are showing the women that are doing like the negative stuff and the ratchetness and all that. We want positive women like the two of you. So thank you so much for being on here, and please send me our way if you guys enjoyed yourself. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Did you?
Have a good time.
You sure? You had a good time? You had a good time? All right. So, Brian, you gonna close us out or?
Yeah, I got you. Listen, beautiful people, we got to go. We got loved ones we got to make love to. Thank you for joining the show. If you're listening to us on Radio Land, on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast, you can check out the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. And if you're watching us on X, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, thank you for watching us. We will see you next week. Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Ladies, you are OGs of the show. You're welcome anytime. Beautiful people, we will see you again. But until then, we bid you adieu.